on them and out. Stand by to take camera 3.
The 6 o'clock report in color with Roger Grimsby, Bill Butel, and the Eyewitness News Team.
Good evening, I'm Roger Grimsby. Here now the news.
New York's Eyewitness News Team was legendary. Among the iconic, memorable reporters,
Melba 5-4.
was Melba Tolliver, unquestionably a role model for so many young women who know her history, especially young black women, including me, who directly attribute Melba Tolliver as the reason why they considered a career in broadcast journalism.
We're all inspired by someone at some time, different points in our lives and throughout our lives. And but inspiration isn't enough. You might have seen me, or you did see me, but it was all you that made it happen.
She was clearly an inspiration, but came to be talent at Eyewitness News by accident. AFTRA, the Union for Reporters and Anchors, went on strike in the late 60s. Melba, who was a newsroom secretary, was put on the air. When the strike ended, she was given a job as a reporter. The rest is history.
Being a general assignment reporter, going in every day, not knowing what the day is going to hold, where you're going to be sent, what's going to be happening in the city or in our viewing area, people that I had an opportunity to meet, so much that I learned. It was like going to school practically every day.
Normally, reporters deliver the news. Because Melba was among the first, she made news too, when she decided to change her hair and was taken off the air.
When I chose to wear my hair in a natural, and I happened to be going to cover Tricia Nixon's White House wedding. This was in 1971. I was taken off the air. I covered the wedding and did the report, but some of the reporting I was supposed to do in connection with it got canceled. Like, I was to come back, be live in the studio, that was canceled. I was to do the morning show with John Bartholomew Tucker, that appearance was canceled. And I was like a naughty kid who was sent to the principal's office in a school, because I had to spend a couple of days sitting in the general manager's office while they tried to persuade me to change back to having my hair straightened.
I pronounce that they are husband and wife together.
The news of what was happening seeped out and became a story which intimidated the management at Channel 7, because they didn't want that bad publicity, even though they just decided right away to put me back on the air.
Community pressure worked. Those were also the days of women reporters only covering women's stories.
I covered the women's conference in Houston, and I guess it was, gosh, I had just come back from Ann Arbor, but it was 1977. All the leading feminists were a part of it. I remember Barbara Jordan, for instance, was there.
Human rights apply equally to Soviet dissidents, Chilean peasants, and American women.
I actually thought naively that this was going to become a political party, because there was so much energy there and determination and an attempt to really be representative of America. Bella Abzug, as I said, Shirley Chisholm, Gloria Steinem.
Gloria, of course, yeah.
But I never even hear anybody mention that conference.
She reflects on the news today, which she says is superficial.
And considering the serious nature of so much news today, I think it's almost criminal to have these make bites of news.
And the topics covered then still remain the issues today.
The Kerner Commission report, after the riots of 1968. If you were to read that report today, you could say you're reading about what's happening now in Ferguson, in Baltimore, in Staten Island. And it's kind of like, when do we just wake up and pay attention and carry things forward instead of going backward and repeating it as if things never happened before?
Melba Tolliver is putting all that news experience, and as a cancer survivor, 76 years of life experience, into an upcoming book titled Accidental Anchorwoman, Memoir of Chance, Choice, and Change. She has worked at several other stations since her Eyewitness News days. Things sure have come a long way since film was sliced. She thinks the technology has improved, but the role of women is taking a step back.
I'm going to tell you frankly, Vanessa, one of the things that bothers me a great deal is the objectification of women in the news. I just can't believe it. I think women on programs that I've seen, from the morning talk shows to news shows to local news, I live in Pennsylvania, that women are dressed like they're going to a cocktail party. The cleavage, the thighs showing. We've come a long way, baby, and a long way sort of in the wrong direction.
Her memoir will talk about women in newsrooms and her early life. She was actually trained as a nurse before taking that newsroom secretary job. Even though she was born in Georgia, with her early years in Ohio, her formative years were spent living in Harlem.
Accidental Anchorwoman, yes. A memoir of chance, choice, and change. And I talk about growing up in the not growing up, but spending time in the Dunbar and actually living there. And it was an opportunity to research some of the history of the Dunbar, why it was built by the Rockefellers. It actually was a co-op in the beginning. And it had a daycare center there, a bank back in the early days. Some of the people that have lived there, Bill Bojangles Robinson, and you know it's named for the poet Paul Laurence Dunbar.
Wow.
The Robesons lived there.
There's a lot of history.
W.E.B. Du Bois lived there at one time.
Wow.
I've known Melba Tolliver for many years. She is truly a remarkable lady who has had a truly remarkable career. She is a pioneer and an iconic African American in the highly competitive field of television journalism. She has been a role model for a generation of black television journalists who followed her lead.
On this night, she is getting an honor from Empire State College. She was an adult student there who went back to college to quench her constant thirst for learning. Today, she lives a quiet life, surrounded by the Delaware River and her many books.
I moved to where I live now, which is Bangor, Pennsylvania. It's Bangor, as in Maine, but the people in that area call it Bangor, and they also say crick rather than creek. And they're not hayseeds, although I live really sort of in the middle of a cornfield.
Those of you who know me know that I've been working on a book which I've titled Accidental Anchorwoman, a memoir of chance, choice, and change. Chance, choice, and change. As I see it, these are the threads that constantly interweave and create the tapestry of our lives.
Melba Tolliver, a pioneer, one of the firsts.
The important thing is not being first, it's making sure you're not the last. And it's also saying, what difference did you make? A positive difference.